This week on the ZonaZoo Sports Report, we look back at this past weekend's women volleyball games.
Also, a first glimpse of Arizona's 2009-2010 men's basketball team.
Arizona football moves up to 18th in the BCS standings, and we will preview this Saturday's game against Washington State.
You're watching the ZonaZoo Sports Report.
Hello, and welcome to this week's edition of the ZonaZoo Sports Report. I'm Maddy Rundin, alongside a not-so-familiar face, Luke Vogelaere, who is filling in for Ben Gabrielson tonight.
You might have noticed that a change in venue for the show. We're going to be filming in the rest of the ZonaZoo Sports Report this year from UATV Studios. We are very excited about the new partnership.
We start off this week with women's volleyball in their games against number 5 Washington and Washington State this past weekend.
That's right, Maddie. Number 18 Arizona hosted the Washington schools this past weekend. They were both hoping to rebound after they were swept by both Northern California schools. The Arizona women's volleyball team took on number 5 Washington at home on Friday night. The Wildcats looked strong at the beginning of the first match as they were connecting on every play, including this nice spike by J.C. Norton. They won the first match 25-18. After the first match, they continued to produce with a very nice teardrop by Tiffany Owens, but it all went downhill from there. The Wildcats started to fall apart, making mental errors like this spike that didn't quite make it to the other side of the net, and the passing turned sloppy. Washington won the match 3-1. It was the third consecutive loss for Arizona. The Cats hoped to redeem themselves as they took on Washington State the next night. They won that match 3-1, and they split the weekend homestand against the Washington schools. Up next, the Wildcats go back on the road to take on the Oregon schools.
Ever since their hot 12-0 start, the volleyball team has struggled down the stretch. In other Arizona sports news, the men's basketball team had their annual Red-Blue game this past weekend. Everyone knows this team has gone through some transitions the past couple of years, and they are finally finding some stability under new head coach Sean Miller. With Nick Wise on the bench with a sprained ankle, true freshman Lamont Momo Jones was able to show off his skills. He was the high scorer in the game with 21 points. The team looked fairly strong, even though they only have one returning senior, and 13 of their 15 players are freshmen and sophomores. Aside from Momo Jones, freshman Derek Williams and Kirill Nadayasko contributed with 13 and 14 points respectively, including a nice alley-oop conversion by Williams.
It's going to be an exciting season for the men's basketball, most definitely. Usually Arizona is called the basketball school, but they may have to change that after the season for Arizona football. Arizona is ranked number 18 in the BCS poll and is currently second in Pac-10. After the bye week, it is an exciting time to be an Arizona football fan as they control their own destiny and have a chance to reach the first Rose Bowl in school history. Arizona is ranked number 18 in the BCS polls and is currently second in the Pac-10 after the bye week. It is an exciting time to be an Arizona football fan as they control their own destiny and have a chance to reach the Rose Bowl for the first time in school history. They take on Washington State this weekend in hopes of winning their 6th game to become bowl eligible. They will need all the personnel to help them get there, and right now, the Cats are injury-plagued. Starting the defensive end, Brooks Reed, has been out for most of the Pac-10 season and is unlikely to fully return versus Washington State because of his ankle injury. We expect him to get on the field for a few plays, but we do not expect him to fully return. Coach Stoops will most likely rest him so he will be completely healthy for the difficult stretch of games ahead that include USC, Cal, and Arizona State on the road, and Pac-10 leader Oregon at home. Arizona is especially hurting at the running back position, as both Nick Grigsby and Greg Nwoko have shoulder sprains. Grigsby re-injured his shoulder in the UCLA game, and both he and Nwoko will most likely miss the Washington State game. With both of these players out, Keelan Antolin will get most of his snaps in the game on Saturday.
Luke, it is a good thing that the Arizona is so deep at the running back position. Remember, Antolin was behind Grigsby last season and had an impressive 189-yard game against Cal last season. Depth at running back is going to be a key factor for the game against Washington State and for the remainder of the season. When Grigsby is healthy, he produces great numbers for the Cats offensively. Since he seems unable to stay healthy this season, much of the ball carrying responsibilities fall on the backups of Nwoko, Antolin, and Booth, all of whom have proved they can get the ball in the end zone. With the help of fullback Chris Gronkowski, having depth at running back will take some of the pressure off quarterback Nick Foles to throw the ball every time. Even though Washington State may be at the bottom of the Pac-10, the Cats must not overlook them. This means Arizona must prepare and play Washington State as if they were playing Oregon or USC. Nick Foles absolutely cannot have 4 turnovers like he did in the UCLA game. Sloppy play by the Wildcats, even against a team like Washington State, can still get you beat. Hopefully Arizona will get the job done and become bowl eligible for the 2nd year in a row and for the 3rd time under Coach Stoops.
Maddie, hopefully the Cats can pull off this game out and then focus on the difficult schedule they face ahead. Plus, it would be nice to get a win on homecoming weekend. Well, that will do it for us on this week's edition of the ZonaZoo Sports Report.
You can check out this video and many more at our website on YouTube at youtube.com/ZonaZooTV. Tune in next week for highlights and analysis of the Washington State game, as well as news all about Arizona sports. I'm Maddy Rundin.
And I'm Luke Vogelaere. Keep it wild, ZonaZoo.